A new year is coming and we are preparing to put 2023 into the history books. But let's recap what have happened on my electric Earth during this year. Tesla is shocking the world in a positive way. It's time to celebrate! Now, when we are suffering from high inflation numbers, where the interest rates goes up and we are getting poorer since prices in general goes up, Tesla is doing the opposite. They are lowering the prices of their product. Yes, Tesla started the year by lowering the price on their vehicles. Several price cuts was followed in the coming month. But we tried the vehicle to load function that many new EVs comes with today. This MG ZS EV can do something that I cannot do with my Tesla. So we tried cooking and charging my Tesla. Now simply connect the plug, but in order to get power in the socket, there is a need to activate the function inside the car. Now the water is really boiling here, so we can put one hot dog into this one like this. Okay, it's not the best hot dog in my life that I made, but let's see how it tastes. It's warm. The thing is that this one, now it's turned on. The lid is turned on there. And what is happening here? Are we starting charging? Yes, it starts charging actually. See, we are actually charging the Tesla from the MG. And the charge rate is the maximum that can be delivered via Shuko contact from the mobile charger. 13 amp. It's not fast, but it's charging. As an early adapter of EVs, back in the days when electric cars was rare, very often you could find destination chargers that was free of charge. Just plug in and charge the car. The owner of the charging station wanted to help the adoption of EVs, learn how the technical system worked, and just simply put up the stall and gave the power away for free. This was, of course, possible since the price of electricity was practically free or at a very low cost. But this has changed, at least here in Europe. Now, when the price for electricity has skyrocketed, all three destination charging options has rapidly disappeared. And in order to pay, of course, you have to download an app, register and fill out your credit card. It's so hard. And everywhere where you go, there is another app to download, with another system to sign up with. Yes, destination charging has improved, but still there is a long way until all the charging firms have came to the same solution as Tesla. But it's not only the energy for charging the cars we need in the future. Also, there will be a huge need for green energy used by the manufacturers that produce everything that we need. For example, the steel that a car is produced by. And when it comes to steel, the company SSAB have developed a method to produce steel by replacing the coal with hydrogen. But in order for it to be really fossil fuel free, the hydrogen needs to be produced by so-called electrolysis that consumes electricity. And of course then the electricity needs to be coming from renewable sources. This is the only method that goes fast enough. All other infrastructure project takes too long time. Nuclear takes 10 to 15 years to finish. Sea-based wind power takes also long time. So building them on land is the only chance if we're going to get the amount of energy needed in the coming 3 to 5 years when the factories are ready to start produce hydrogen. But Wind turbines on land has also its environmental impact. It needs space to build these huge constructions. Bird life can be affected and humans nearby can be disturbed by noise and moving shadows. But modern wind turbines can handle this by stopping their rotation when sensors feels that the shadows are disturbing nearby residents. Also, they have cameras and can detect using AI when endangered bird species are coming too close and then reduce the speed or stopping the rotation overall. This summer I had my first puncture in one of the tires in my Model 3. And I don't know what actually have happened, but there is this small rusty spike in the tire. And yeah, I found out this morning. Time changed before all cars had spare tires. I did change it earlier in my life. But now it's a different story. This happens so seldom that the need for one is not there kind of anymore. Tesla do not even provide an emergency repair kit for flat tires coming with the car. You can find out in the actual episode how this problem was solved. Use this link or find it in the description. This happened during our summer trip to Poland, where we had great time thanks to our car. We went on a trip to a very unique land formation, a peninsula in the Baltic Sea, where the land is very narrow for a long way. And at the tip there is a town called Hell. This is not the hell that you think of. This is actually a nice place with the restaurants, tourist attractions and beaches for everyone to enjoy. Here you can come both by car, train and boat. But we took the car. I think that we humans take this innovation way too much for granted. And we must push harder to eliminate the negative impact that this mass transport system have on our global life support system that our nature give us. Here, electrification of cars is, must and will be the solution for the future. It's time for me to say goodbye to my Tesla Model 3. In the autumn, Tesla came with the offer to transfer the full self-driving package that I bought to my old Model 3 to a new car. That was a push for me to swap to a Model Y. I'm on my way to pick up my Tesla Model Y. Delivery times for Model Y in Europe is record short, just a little bit over 2 weeks since I ordered the car. I'm now here going to the Tesla delivery center to pick up my car. Okay, so here I am now in my car. Time to drive back home soon. It had been driven 5 kilometers before I took delivery of the car. Funny. After checking everything, getting answers to my questions, setting up the preferences, it was time to start the journey back home. Quite soon I realized that this car was not the same as my Model 3. Tesla has made several changes to their models that gave some problems with the car. Help! What to do? Why is the wiper going crazy? Here I'm driving my Model Y using autopilot, and the wiper is constantly trying to wipe the screen even if there is no rain. The wiper is in auto mode, and when I'm driving in autopilot, you cannot turn it off. What is happening? A software update fixed this issue after the episode was released. But one thing that was not yet solved by the software updates is the auto high beam function. It has been better over the years, but still it's too slow to go back to high beam after you passed an oncoming car. Here in the Nordic countries, it's a valuable seconds that you need the high beam to avoid a collision with an animal, for example a moose. It should return to the high beam in the meeting phase of the car to limit the time that you do not see so far in the low beam and have maximum time with the high beam to have a chance to avoid an animal collision. We are today going to my summer house, like I have done so many times before in my Model 3, and went all the way without stopping for supercharging. Let's see if this car can do the same thing. The point is that Model Y is a bigger car. Yes, this is the reason why I bought a Model Y. I needed more space for the passengers in the back seat. There is so many factors that determines on how far you can come on one charge. Today is kind of windy and we will have headwind, which is not favorable to get the maximum range. The battery of this Model Y is not so much bigger than in my Model 3. Even if there is no official number from Tesla, you can find unofficial numbers that estimates the size of the battery to 78 kilowatt hours, with 75 kilowatt hours usable. The official range, though, is 10 kilometers shorter than my old Model 3. So let's begin the 364 kilometers long journey, that's 264 miles, that we will travel today and see how my new Model Y will perform. When driving long distance, most of the time you try to get to a highway that is straight and the speed limits are not so low, so driving fast, it's the norm. But the official range calculated when you buy a car is a mix of driving speeds, and definitely not driving 110 kilometers for most of the time. This is why the official range differs so much from the expected range of your typical long-distance drive on highways. Did we make the trip on one charge? Check the episode to find out. It is winter again, and this year it came early with low temperatures, snow and slippery roads. There is more features in my Tesla Model Y that I like in the winter climate like this that I didn't have in my Model 3. So there is some more buttons here under the temperature icon that is not in my previous Model 3. First of all, the car has heated steering wheel, so you can add heated steering wheel here also. And here you have also heated windshield wiper. I have said it before, but the lack of ultrasonic sensor in this car is really not making the life easy. Since the so-called AI with cameras only is not doing its job. For example, when parking against a wall, the car says stop far too early. And I am not even close to the wall. And if I leave the car like this, the car wouldn't be fitting inside the parking square. Fix it with a software update, so warnings will not come so early. Talking about updates, the Christmas over-the-air update has just arrived. But there is this one update at the bottom, autopilot suspension. Now the driver will be more monitored when driving in autopilot. But to introduce a suspension period that cannot be unlocked is really the wrong way to go. In my opinion, Tesla must remove this suspension as a punishment immediately. Maybe Tesla could turn this into something positive instead, like they have done before when regulatory requirements has been forced on them. The unlock procedure could be that the driver must watch a short instruction movie of what is expected when using the auto steer and the full self-driving feature. Perhaps you already know that the main mission for this channel is to try to stop the ever-rising carbon dioxide levels by getting so many people as possible into electric cars. But as it looks like the fossil fuel is continue to flooding the market and creating conflicts all over the world. Even if there is initiatives for making things more renewable, the proportion against what is produced and planned for the oil industry is still very uneven. If you find oil today, you can still make a fortune. During 2023, we have seen record temperatures, lots of natural catastrophes that is related to more and more extreme weather that cost the society huge amount of money in repair and lives. Is it the wealthy nations that have gained so much from the fossil fuel incomes that is paying for the damage? I don't think so. During the past years, I have shown this graph in my New Year episodes that displays the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere. It looks kind of this every year, right? Goes up and down like this depending on the season. But what have changed is the scale. Now we have measured a top level of 424 ppm of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This is really another record, and we will do the same next year, I'm sure. With this insight, maybe it is even more important to be thankful that I have a life that still has not been impacted so much by global warming, and send a thought to everyone out there that has been. So finally, I wish you all, against all the odds, a happy new year of 2024.